Hi everyone, it's Sal Jade, bestselling tarot instructor and founder of the Psychic Healing Academy. And in this short video, I want to share with you three powerful tips that you can use if you are struggling to connect with your tarot cards. So this is if you are feeling like the cards are no longer making sense, if you're feeling like you are shuffling them and you're pulling them out and icky and you get this intuitive, no, that's not quite working for me anymore, or if you just feel like they're not as accurate as usual. So maybe your clients are getting back to you if you're a professional reader, or you are getting feedback where you feel like, actually, that's not really making any sense. And so I want to give you three really powerful tips that are going to help overcome this. This is going to be perfect if you are a complete beginner and you're just starting to grow and forge a relationship with your tarot deck and do readings, or if you are someone who's been reading for a long time and you're finding out that you're just feeling like this particular deck you're using is not making sense anymore. I'm also going to be sharing with you one very powerful tip that I haven't shared before in any of my videos or courses, so please do stick around to the end to get that additional tip. So for those of you who don't know me, I have been blessed enough to have helped over 90,000 students around the world read tarot like an expert, as well as grow thriving online tarot businesses. And if you'd like to get more of these free tarot tutorials, please do hit subscribe. So let's start by talking about what I would call a very beginner level easy tip when you want to get more connection with your cards or you feel like your deck's just no longer making sense. And sometimes you might be tempted to be like, should I throw this deck out? Is it the deck? Is it me? What's going on? And so the first thing I would make sure you are always doing is to cleanse your deck before and after. Now stick with me if you already feel like you're doing this, because I'm going to give you some additional tips to do it that really help amplify the energy of your deck and connect you more deeply with what you need to be connecting with to get accurate readings. So the first thing I do before every single client I have is I make sure my deck has been cleansed and purified, and I use incense like sandalwood and frankincense. I use sandalwood to ground me. I use frankincense to heighten my intuitive abilities. So you can use it by just burning it around the actual reading, but I actually like to just get the incense and do a little figure eight around my deck. And then I like to always knock on it 3 times before and after every reading. Now, one of the big reasons that your deck may be giving out unclear readings, or they may not be making sense, or you're shuffling and you get that intuitive icky feeling, is because you are absorbing the energy of the previous client or the previous person you read for, or if you're reading for you, it's even your previous reading and the energy you were holding when you were doing that reading. So what you need to do is make sure that all energy that has come before is gone. And so for me, even a simple prayer, so I like to hold my deck to my heart and just say, release any previous energy that has come from readings before, any other clients, anything that is dark, anything that is not healthy, anything that is not going to give me clear and accurate readings. So that's just one very quick 10-second way that you can make sure that the energy from any previous residual readings has gone. Now, you can also add crystals to the mix, because I love using crystals with my tarot decks and my tarot readings. So you might want to look at something like black tourmaline. That's a really great crystal for being able to connect and clear any dark energy that's on your deck. And it also can ground you a lot, which, as I've mentioned with the incense, is important. It's good for you to be grounded. It's also important to consider, hey, am I doing too many readings at the moment? Like, am I overextending myself? Because sometimes all you need is a break, and it might be that's the reason. And please do stick around to the end as I give you some additional tips on how to overcome that particular issue. My second tip requires a little bit of honesty, and this is much more trickier for those of you who are professional readers, and that is, am I using my tarot deck too much like a fortune-telling ATM and not enough like a spiritual guide and trusted advisor? So it's really important that you treat your tarot deck like a good friend, that you value it, and that you're not just using it to get that kind of psychic parlor carnival trick, when are they coming back to me readings constantly and constantly, constantly. These kind of readings can be a little bit toxic, and while the tarot will reveal to you trends and things that can unfold in your life if you follow a certain path, if you're only going to use your tarot deck not as something that's going to give you beautiful beautiful spiritual guidance that's going to help shift and remove anything that's stopping you from living your very best life, then your tarot deck's going to feel like, hey, wait a minute, you're just asking me the same questions again and again, and I feel like you're not trusting me. Now, at this stage, some of you who haven't known me before and done my courses before may be laughing at me a bit, going, who is this crazy woman who's talking about using your tarot deck as a friend and treating your tarot deck like it's something that is a real animate object instead of an inanimate object? So for me, tarot is energy and you are energy. So the connection that you are forging with your deck is sacred. So you need to treat it with respect. And for me, think about how it feels when you have friends, and I don't know if you have friends like this, but I do, that occasionally pop into my life who will come and ask me for advice, and I'll do my best to take the time and the space to give them my very best heartfelt advice. And then they go off and do something completely different. Or they go off and then they come back the next week and they're asking me the same advice and they haven't done anything that I have suggested. Now, again, I'm not saying I know everything in the world and I'm the best advisor to consult on everything, but I know I get worn down by friends that behave that way and treat me that way. And the tarot deck does too. It wants to give you your best spiritual advice. It wants to give you what's going to be something that is going to be for your highest good and destiny. So if you are continually asking it, the same questions again and again and again and again, like in the same day, week, month, and you're not doing any of the work or taking any of the advice that it's giving you, then you're going to wear it out. It's going to get over it, basically. So that is something to consider, is pause any kind of questions that are constantly about when are they doing this and when is this going to happen, if it's already offered you some advice about maybe when and how things are going to unfold. Also, pivoting back to the first tip, do make sure you are regularly nurturing your tarot deck. So don't let other people constantly touch it unless they are your clients. And if other people are touching it, please do clear and cleanse it at all times. So all residual energy is cleansed of it. So making sure you are treating it like something that you are not going to burn out, like you would a therapist. So remember, therapists burn out, tarot readers burn out, tarot decks burn out. So just keep those few things in mind when you are forging a deeper connection with your deck, to make sure you're respecting any wisdom that's coming through. Make sure if it's giving you a challenging reading or giving a client a challenging reading, that you're just taking a step back and trying to separate all the emotion from it and just being, okay, what could this be about? And trying to think about outside the box a little bit and take a breath and make sure you're not sort of getting too overly attached and exhausted and angry at your actual deck. And if that's making some of you go, well, who would do that? I've done that. I've got mad at my deck. I've gone, why are you telling me this? No, I hate that. Give me a better answer. And, the tarot deck will give what you put into it. So treat it like a trusted friend and nurture it, not a fortune telling ATM. Now, my third tip is something that I love to do, and those of you who have done my How to Be Psychic course and my Psychic Readings Intermediate course on Udemy have seen me do that a lot, and that is I work with my guides and angels to help me get better readings, and I work with them to help me nurture my deck. So what I do before every single reading that I do is I call upon Lord Tarochi, so Lord of the Tarot cards, the Ascended Masters that are connected with tarot cards, any guides that I like to work with. So for me, I work very strongly with Archangel Gabriel, and I call upon Archangel Gabriel to be with me during the reading. If I've got particular nerves and I'm feeling anxious, I ask for any clearing and cleansing. I ask for protection from Archangel Michael. If you are someone who is not interested in angels, or they don't appeal to you, or they go against your particular religion, then do work with any guides. Like even if you just call in spirit or energy or source to come in and help cleanse your deck and help you connect more with your deck, and to always ensure that everything that comes through is for your best and highest good, or the best and highest good of your clients. So these are 3 easy tips that you can use, and these, as you've seen, they can take place in less than a couple of minutes to make sure that you are clearing any energy and that your deck is giving you accurate readings. So your fourth and final tip is to actually do a reading and ask your deck what it is it needs. So sometimes it might be enough to just pull a couple of cards and say, is this about my own burnout? Am I doing too many readings? Do I need to take a break? So you might just do a very basic three card spread and say, what do I need to know about improving my connection with you? And if you get something like the Four of Swords, if you get something like the Eight of Cups, if you get something like the Hermit, these are all cards that suggest it might be time for you to take a break. It might be time for you to rest. If you got the King or Queen of Cups, it might suggest, or even the Knight or Page of Cups, it might suggest that you need to actually drop into your heart more when you're doing your readings. Like maybe you're coming too much from the head, and so maybe it needs to be a more heartfelt practice for you when you're giving readings. If it's something like the Nine of Swords or the Ten of Swords, it might be that you're actually feeling really anxious, and that's anxiety is what's coming through from the deck. So you might need to step away and give yourself a little bit of healing, or maybe do something like tapping. Those of you who know me know I have these courses on Udemy called Boost Your Psychic Gifts with EFT tapping that helps nervous people who are reading tarot or exhausted people who are reading tarot be able to feel calmer and be able to feel more connected to their decks, being able to feel more connected to receiving messages. So that could help. Or even just some of your own meditation practices or going outside in nature can help. So being able to just pull back and go, okay, I'm going to just take a breather, because it might not be the deck's fault. It might actually be it's you who's a bit overextended with your readings. Now, another question that might come up that you might ask, and you could even just do like a yes or no or a multiple choice, is do I need to just have a break from this deck and start using another deck? Now, some of you might find this a bit strange, but I know from my 16 years of doing readings that there are just times with some of my decks where I go, I need a break from this deck. I've been using it so much, and I feel like I want to get excited and play with one of my other decks, and that's completely fine. And so you might want to pull some cards and maybe do a highest wins or a positive versus negative, pull a couple of your decks out and pull one card for each deck and go, which is the one I should be working with right now? And pull a few different cards and see which ones are ranking higher or which ones are most feeling positive as the deck you can be working with right now. So these are just a few higher level, more advanced tips and suggestions of how you can connect more deeply with your cards. So I hope that has helped everyone. And if you would like more information about any of my courses on Udemy, do pop some questions below, or you can reach out to me at sal@saljade.com or check out my website. And if you've got any other questions about other things that may be going wrong for you in your tarot practice and learning tarot that you'd like some advice on, do pop them in the comments below. Thanks so much for joining me.